Hello. How's everyone doing? Are we ready for the red door today?
Hello.
Oh, better turn my volume off over here. We don't need an echo. All right. While people are hopping on, I would love to see where you're coming from again, like we did the first time. Where are you located on planet Earth? Thank you for being here. I have so much amazing stuff to share. I am absolutely nerve-sighted, but that is the best place to be. Oh my gosh. This is going to be an amazing adventure together, and I am so proud to be able to take you on this journey and to share with you the 64, the 64 archetypes, the 64 that lives within you. Ah, hi, hey Ben, hey Christine, Canada, North Carolina, Mexico, beautiful. London, hi Lisa, Greece, amazing. Chicago, all around. Missouri, hi. Oh man, amazing. Okay. Whoo, my. Let's take a moment. We'll stop sharing. Hi! Hello! Okay. Wow. I'm so glad to have you all here. All right. Let me get my notes. Well, welcome everyone. And let's just take this moment to take a deep breath together. Feeling yourself arriving, bringing yourself into the present moment, breathing all parts and pieces of you wherever you're off in another time, in another place, thinking about the future, thinking about the past. We're going to arrive right here together. And I would love for you to feel your feet on the ground. If you can put your feet on the ground, let's feel the earth, feeling that pulse beneath you. And this is the beginning of everything. We're going to be tuning into the red door, which in turn connects to your root chakra. And this is all about our foundation, building a solid foundation. We have 13 weeks left, 13 Mondays left in 2025, and we're going to be going on this journey together. So the first door is about the foundation. So this is the root, the seed, the very code of life itself. This is where the journey begins. And with the 64, with the living matrix of creation, each of the 64 is a pattern of consciousness. It's a divine seed of wisdom. And together, they form the map of our return home. And the 64 are not abstract, they live within us. And they're codes and they shape our DNA, our emotions, our relationships, our reality. So when we begin to walk the wheel, we're not just learning something new, we're remembering a universal language of life itself. And this red door is going to ask, can you root into the 64 within you? And I'm not just talking about 64 archetypes, the language that I'm speaking. It's more than just my archetypes, Richard's, Gene Keys, Ra's, Human Design Gates. It's a 64 that's a living matrix that we're all tuning into, that we're all tapping into. And we each are going to translate it a different way. And even me saying my archetypes, they're not mine. People speak archetypally all the time. You may connect to the archetypes in your own way. Give them their own name, give them their own image. It's just about how do you connect to the 64. So this is also a story of Eden and our kicked out of the garden moment. It's a moment where humanity fell out of coherence with the codes of life. We tasted that fruit of knowledge, but we lost touch with wisdom. And so, like Moses and the Israelites wandering in the desert, we've been searching for the promised land, for home, for harmony, for wholeness. But the promised land was never a place. It's a frequency. It's a state of consciousness that we carry within ourselves. And now I don't want to disappoint you saying it's just a state of being. Your state of being creates the reality around you. It shapes what's around you. And so you creating that heaven, that Shambhala within you will create it outside of you. The longer you can hold that frequency, hold the pose, stay the course, the more it starts to orient and organize outside of you. How can it not? It has to be in coherence. It's trying to come into harmony and rhythm with you. And heaven may not be somewhere we go, although some people do believe we go there and we can go there. And it's also something we remember. So, like I said, Moses spent 40 years in the desert leading a people that had to learn alignment. And when I say alignment, I mean that they had to get into coherence with divine law. They couldn't enter the promised land until they were ready to embody these laws. And the same way we can't unlock prosperity and abundance until we become coherent with ourselves, with the codes of consciousness, with our design. We are each designed to prosper in different ways, and we each have something we're here to create in this world, very uniquely ours. And the Ten Commandments, they're not just rules that are meant to restrict, and we're not talking about the Ten Commandments today, but for an example, they were frequencies that are meant to align humanity with a divine order and to teach integrity, to teach trust, to teach reverence for life. In the same way, the 64 codes are not necessarily intellectual knowledge, although we can approach it in that way. They're living patterns that, when integrated, they open the gates to paradise within. So when we step through the red door, we're going to be asked to tend the soil of our own Garden of Eden. And this is root work. This is foundational work. So here lives our relationship in the root to safety, to survival, to security. It's where our basic needs are met or not met. Here lives fear. This is the greatest saboteur that guards the gates of creation, that guards the gates of paradise, that guards the gates of heaven, Shambhala. So we don't be mistaken. We don't need to say fear is the enemy. It's a signal. And it points to where we have forgotten our belonging. That we belong in Eden, that we belong in Shambhala, that we belong to have heaven on earth, that we deserve to have heaven on earth. And it's where we might have lost trust in life. And so we have to build a new foundation so that we remember the keys, remember that it's unlocked, remember that we can get back in. Lilith was cast out of Eden. 3 angels came to bring her back, and she's like, no, I do not want to go there. I'd rather birth demon children over here by the lake and curse the whole world. Adam and Eve, shame begat them, right? And we're talking about biblical things here today, but there's many instances of being kicked out of Eden. How do we find our way back to that? What made us get kicked out in the first place? How do we reclaim that? And we're going to start with the foundation, because if you're here trying to create heaven on earth for yourself, to create a reality that you want, a dream you're wanting to enact, then we need to get really clear on the foundation, in the bones, in the body. And so these saboteurs, these voices of shame, doubt, guilt, denial, rejection, many others, these patterns keep us vibrating at a lower frequency. But they're portals. And the more twisted up and wound up our fear, our shame, our doubt, the more power they have to kind of launch us. It's like a launch pad. If we can enter that, and usually we try to avoid feeling shame again, guilt again, rejection again. We try our hardest to not feel that again, but actually these are our portals that will bring us up to the higher frequencies when we can transmute them, when we can transfigure them, when we can enter them to be able to unleash more and more light in our being. Richard talks about this all the time about entering the shadow. So Richard Rudd also says your attitude affects your altitude. So if you want to rise higher, if you want to return to Eden, you must learn to hold more love, hold more joy, hold more prosperity, more success, more blessings. We're here to rise rooted. We're here to root deeper. We're rising by rooting. You want to build heaven, you need to have a firm foundation. You want to build that high skyscraper, you better believe you're going to have a really solid foundation. So, this is about building that strong foundation. A strong enough foundation to hold that expansion of light that's coming in you, in humanity, in the world. Can you feel it? Do you feel something big coming? Tuning into that for a moment, just type in the chat, like, are you feeling this expansion? Are you feeling this big moment? Are you feeling this threshold? Are we feeling that? It's it's a lot. It it can take us out sometimes with feeling the immensity of it, right? I know some of you are called to big things. You're called to do something important in the world. I'm not talking about visions of grandeur. I'm not talking about ungrounded things. I'm talking about that which was always meant for you to bring through, to birth through. Birthing isn't just for females, although we inherently know how to do it. And I want to come in to help you understand how we birth this new world. And I'll be talking about my story over these 13 weeks and what I've had to do to create this new reality for myself too. And it was hard. It was I had to stay the course. I had to hold the pose. I had to make sure that I remained in coherence even when things wanted to slip me up, when things wanted to drag me down, when other people weren't in alignment um with what I wanted or where I was going. So I know I'm seeing a lot of you are feeling this. A lot of you are tuning into this threshold moment, this initiation moment for you. And I don't want to, I mean, I know I'm bringing in a lot of biblical stuff too, but I mean, we're all anointed. We're all special. And because we're all special, nobody's special, but we are special. We are God in form. And God is coming through us in our spark of creativity, in our personality, through our personality. And you're speaking, you're creating, you're doing things way different than anyone else could. And that's an expression of God. You are an expression of God. And uh, we want to feel that. So, because you're interested in Gene Keys, human design, astrology, the 64 archetypes, you are in coherence with the 64. And the 64 is a living matrix. The 64 is the program. The 64 is the codes of consciousness. It's the rules we live by. It just is. And the more we can understand them, the more we can learn how to break the code, crack the code, be able to utilize the code to manifest the reality we want in this world, right? And I'd love for you to feel into just asking your being, asking yourself, your consciousness to root into the 64. So you can say, I root into the 64 within me. It's not a reaching outside, it's a tuning into inside. You have all 64 inside of you. So just take a moment to feel into these 64. Feel that. Feel the codes of creation pulsing in your cells. You are not separate from the divine matrix. You are the matrix, living, breathing expression of it. You're you're not asleep in it. You're awake in it. You are it. And this realization is awake. We are awakened. We are awakened. Awakened. And so when we come into coherence with these 64 frequencies, we learn to live in harmony with the rhythm of the cosmos. This started way back. I mean, the I Ching is what brought it through these 64 codes, but it probably was before then. We just didn't name it. Somebody with the 62 said, I'm going to name this. I'm going to name these. And from there on out, other people named it, translated it, and you're translating it too because it's coming through you. The 64 is God. The 64 is the totality. The 64 is all that is. It's just pieces of all that is. It's just facets of the diamond of all that is. And we get to name the facets of the diamond of all that is, and we have them all inside of us. And they are amazing. It's not a cult. I was feeling this cult. I was like, it's not a cult. We are not a cult. We are empowered individuals we are sovereign. We are sovereign individuals. And the moment you say, I don't resonate with this, you translate it in a different way. It's as simple as that. We are always empowered. We are always free to choose. We have free will. We have fate, but we get to choose. There are always doors, and we get to unlock the ones we'd like. Sometimes we get pushed through some. We're like, oh my gosh. Sometimes we try to go in locked ones and it's like, nope, don't force that. So here we are learning to live in harmony with the rhythm of the cosmos. Heaven and earth meet within us. We are the bridge between heaven and earth. We bring heaven to earth. We embody that heaven when we bring it to earth. So Jesus said, I'm getting really religious, aren't I? Let's just say spiritual. When I woke up, I had a realization that we are all Jesus. Like we are Jesus. And I know it's a bold statement. It's like, oh my gosh, there's all this self-importance, like you're Jesus. No, so are you. You can do everything he could do. And I mean, sometimes you got to be a little bit cuckoo and believe in the things so that you can do them, so you can embody them, so that you can bring them to earth. That's what he did. Myths, mythos, archetypes. We are archetypal beings. We live according to myths. You find the myth you resonate with, you find the code you're living, for good or for bad. You can rewrite them too. We are all living out repeated myths of humanity because we're trying to have completion, resolution, to come back into coherence, into wholeness. So Eden is restored in us. The promise is fulfilled within us. And we remember who we truly are, the seed, the soil, the garden itself. So as we're tuning into the field of the 64, I'm going to play the introduction that I always play whenever we do our walking the wheel calls on Tuesdays. And I want you to take this moment to breathe into this field of the 64, to look at it with new eyes as if these 64 are within me. And as I'm seeing this body graph fill in on the screen, I'm filling in too. I'm connecting to the field of the 64. They are within me. They're alive within me. You are a creator and you're here to tune into them and to translate them in your own way. Okay, so let's watch the video together. The introduction, this is less than 2 minutes. And then we'll open the door and get started. Actually, I thought we already started. We are, but let's officially open the door too. So let's go. I'll see you on the other side. Oh, wow. You're whole. It is done. We're done. Okay, that's it. That's all we have to do. No, but seriously, it's all within you. You're now connected. You're now plugged in. And if you weren't plugged in before, you have an awareness now. I feel like we're always plugged in. What does Abraham Hicks say? Plugged in, tuned in, turned on, like revving up. Let's go. Okay, let's get started. Well, let's deepen. Let's deepen. Okay. Present. Okay. Ooh. So, before I was into human design and gene keys, I was totally into graphic design and branding. And I all the graphics that are on the 64 Doors website, I created, except some of the paintings and some of the artwork that came from other people. But I learned web design and graphic design, and it all prepared me for the education and the work I'm going to do now. So I'm super grateful that these kind of things were put on my path because it makes it so much easier to be a creator when you can create your own graphics for yourself because then you're not waiting for someone else. Okay, so the 13 doors, the 13. Do you notice anything unique about this? Is your eye drawn to any part of this? Are you recognizing something? Yeah, I'll just point it out for you. It's it's the trigram of heaven. So we'll go back here. You can see 13 and the two E's are pointed towards each other to create the trigram of heaven. Okay, great. Why are we bringing in this? Because you are creating heaven. You are the creator. And the I Ching trigrams, there's 8 of them. I'm going to bring you way back to the I Ching. So human design and gene keys are built off of the I Ching, off of the 64 hexagrams. 64 hexagrams. These are a combination of these 8 trigrams. So if we take water and wind, abysmal water over gentle wind, it makes the 48. So there are 64 variations. There's 8 elements and 64 variations when you're combining them together. And so heaven happens to be, let me go back to it. It's very creative. It's a visionary. It's creative. It's the energy of pure potential, of universal purpose. It goes yang, yang, yang. So it's prime yang. It corresponds to the sky, to divine inspiration, to genius, to artistry, to creativity, to willpower, to purpose, to technology, to innovation. It represents the purest form of yang energy. And it is the boundless energy of potential, of inspiration. It symbolizes the power to create, to initiate, to align with universal purpose. And heaven embodies the visionary spirit that catalyzes transformation and drives progress. Powerful. If you take the trigram of heaven and another trigram of heaven, you happen to make gene key 1, which we call the spark archetype. And this is pure yang. So yang, 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 yang. So the whole hexagram is made up of all yang. I bring in this hexagram and it's part of our journey with the 13 because the whole purpose of this together is to connect you with the conscious creator within yourself. We orient with the 64 archetypes because the 64 is a living matrix. In its totality, in its wholeness, we are one with the 64. The 64 become one. When we can come into coherence, when we can come into alignment, when we can unify them. And to unify them means to integrate them, means to rectify and resolve any of the discords, any of the conflicts you have with any of these. It's to enter the shadow, to unveil the gift, and to find the fruit of the city. In the Siddhic frequencies, they're all generally the same. They're all universal love energy, which is what all that is, which is what God is. And so to bring all of the 64 into coherence, we are aligning with that God frequency, with that I am frequency. And now, do we have to master all 64? We no and yes, but no. Like, don't worry, it's not that big of an order, like that tall of an order where, oh my gosh, 64, that's a lot. I'm gonna go back to the Ten Commandments because that was a lot easier. You have your design, right? You have your gene key profile, your human design gate. And that is who you are. And so we have a focus. We work on what is ours. Let me move forward. Oh, yeah. We work on what is ours. We go and tune into the wisdom within us that's defined, that's consistent. So, working with the codes that you have inside of your design is what's going to help you come into coherence with yourself, with you, in you. And working with all 64 helps you interact and come into coherence and harmony with everyone outside of you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to mirror and reflect somebody else's shadow, it just means you're aware of the shadow. And you know how to interact and approach that shadow or set a boundary with that. And you're here to also learn and also teach other people by example or literally teaching them. It depends on what kind of invitation you have. But we're here to expand, we're here to evolve. This happens to be, hi, hexagram 48, like I showed you here. Hi, Ashley. Stay go the right way. This is the librarian archetype, and she is who's currently in transit right now. So when we're walking the wheel, the librarian is here with us now. And in human design, that is gate 48. And in gene keys, it moves from inadequacy to resourcefulness to wisdom, shadow, gift, city. So Ra brought through the 48 in the body graph, in the Sponic Center. Richard studied under Ra, was a human design practitioner. He was inspired and enlivened by a whole new understanding of these 64 gates. He gave them frequency bands. And so he evolved out of human design and started to create his own system called Gene Keys, where it gave us this practical approach, this journey, this mythic journey to go and enter the shadow, to unveil the gift, and to hopefully taste the cities. And very poetic. This is like right brain and this is left brain. Ra is very logical, very analytical. He's bringing us a body graph that helps us understand how do these things work? How do things flow in this body graph? And Richard brings us a contemplation. He believes in the art of contemplation, wisdom blooming inside of us. So the 64 is a living matrix. Ra and Richard are channels, are translators. Ra brought through the human design system. He connected with the field of the 64. He brought through human design. He mixed and merged, the Kabbalah, the chakra system, all sorts of things. And that's what created the human design body graph. It was an alchemy. He connected to the 64, brought in other systems, and said, I think these should be bridged. I want to bring them together. I want to combine them. Have you guys ever thought of that? Did you ever think of other systems that you might want to integrate inside Gene Keys, Human Design, the 64? I'm sure you've noticed. If anybody in the chat is already bridging, like you're bringing in Chinese medicine, you're bringing in essential oils, you're bringing in crystals, you're bringing in plants, you're bringing in what are you Rosie Aronson brought in totems, animal totems, the dream arc. What are you bringing in? What do you feel resonance with? Richard brought in the gene keys. And in turn, these sequences, the activation sequence, the Venus sequence, the pearl, and the star pearl. He brought through these sequences because Richard has the 35 in his activation sequence. He's an adventurer. He's archetypal. Of course, he's going to put us on a hero's journey. Of course, it's his makeup, it's his design. There's something about your design that's going to translate these systems differently. You're going to resonate with one aspect of them and maybe not another. You're going to find your own approach to the system. It's just a raft. These systems are just a raft to get to the shore of your awareness, of your mastery. They're not gurus. They're humans. Okay. So we're at our threshold. We're tuning into the door in front of us, and we're going on a journey. Because if you're here, you resonate with archetypal inquiry. If you're part of Unlock Your Design, you like to look at the 64 through archetypes, right? We walk the wheel together, we connect to the archetypes that are in transit, and we connect to a part of ourselves. It makes it easier to relate, to resonate with them, because we're making them human. We're making them parts inside of us, so we can have dialogue, so we can have relationship. We're humans. We are drawn to be in relationship. So now we get to be in relationship with ourselves. So this is the door, the hallway of doors. It's similar to the hallway of doors that I visualized when I had my awakening, only I'm usually walking through a white hallway with white doors, and I have the keys in my hands jingling around. But this goes a lot better with the theme and motif of the 64 doors. It's very video gamey. So this is our hallway, and today we happen to be walking through the red door. This is where we're going together. So I'm going to stop sharing this, come back here. All right, so I want you to just tune into that red door within you. Tune into your root. Tune into the color red. And your root chakra is at the base of your spine. You can think of it as an orb. You can imagine that door there. We're unlocking this door, and I want you to imagine in your hand is a key, or from your heart is a key, or something. I want you to unlock it in your own special way. I'm not here to unlock it for you guys. You're here to unlock it for yourself. So just imagine yourself unlocking this door to your root, to your foundation, to the garden of your Eden, to where it all begins. You can imagine the garden in your root. What does the soil look like, feel like? What does it smell like? The more sensory input you can get, the better. The more data you're collecting to help you work through this. Amazing. So now that we've opened the red door, take a deep breath in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth, breathing in to your root. As you're breathing deeply, imagine that red color brightening, that light illuminating even further. Breathing into wholeness, into coherence. Let your energy begin to sync with the rhythm of life itself, tuning into Gaia, tuning into Mother Earth, imagining roots growing from your root or from your feet, grounding you into the earth, seeing those roots just extend down into the earth, into the center of the earth, into the center of Gaia, connecting into the heart of Gaia, to the golden light of abundance, of wisdom, to the nurturing light of Gaia, feeling held, feeling supported, feeling anchored here. Resting in the arms of Gaia, in the arms of the mother. And in this place, knowing everything is okay. I am safe here. I am taken care of. Maybe Gaia is communicating with you too. Maybe you already have a connection with her. It's like coming back home, being welcomed. And that golden light of Gaia, just imagining as you breathe that you're being nourished by that golden light. It's going up your roots. It's coming to your root chakra. It's filling your root chakra with that golden, healing, abundant energy of Gaia. Feeling it pulse and emanate through your whole being. Activating, aligning, balancing your root. That's what she's doing. That's what she's offering. Thanking you for being here, for living your hero's journey, for enriching the Akasha, with your choices, with your actions, with everything you're doing here on earth. Just thank you. Infinite thanks. Because what you're doing is you're evolving the collective. It's a big job and you're doing amazing at it. You may feel shaken up sometimes, but you're doing phenomenal. You are here. So, the red door is about foundation. It's about rhythm because foundation begins with that rhythm. We build it through repetition. You can't build anything lasting without a rhythm that supports you. The rhythm is what makes something solid. It's when we begin to master something as well. So that's why I created this Unlock Your Design universe. I was introduced to Gene Keys, to human design in 2027. And that from that day, I felt, whoa, I feel like I already know this. Like, I feel like I've been searching for this. And it was that day that I dove headfirst into this, day by day into the systems, every single day. It wasn't just like, I don't know, sometimes I become obsessed and then it's like, I make it my world. And I think that's how you master things is you want to learn Spanish, go to Spain and live in Spain. I lived Gene Keys and human design. Even if no one else spoke that language, I was learning to speak it myself. So I started with my design and with my gene keys and my human design. So I went into my charts, much like probably you guys did. You're like, oh, yeah, let me look at my chart. And then I started following the transits that were activated by the sun. So when I knew that, like with the gene key pulse, and when I figured out that, like the sun activated a different archetype every 5 days, I was like, whoa, this is a really amazing rhythm. So I started following the transits. And I remember interacting with Richard Rudd and Ra Uru Hu's material and wondering, why aren't they together? They're the same. They're connected to the same thing. And like I told you, when I had my awakening, I was connected to a hallway of doors. And that's how I would enter my gene keys. So I would go into my consciousness and then I'd be like, okay, let's unlock this door. And I would see what was behind it. And so much like what you saw with the visual of doors is what I would do. And I would unlock things. So unlock your design came from like I just love unlocking things. It's just so fun to me. And it doesn't necessarily mean that things are locked. It's just like a remembering or an awareness. And it gives us freedom. So uh through that inspiration that I had from Richard, that I had from Ra, I made my own connection of the 64 matrix and I had an idea to bring the doors to life and unlock the group that you're in right now used to be called Your Life by Design. And I remember posting in the group one time, I'm like, what do you guys think about having a source, a free resource online that combined both Gene Keys and human design knowledge and put it in one place so we wouldn't have to look in different places for it. And I was like, yeah, we should do that. Well, it took a couple of years to bring that through. It was an idea. I started to put stuff together. It was all in Google Docs back then. And whenever I would do readings, I would give all that information to the people I did the readings for. They would get a workbook, and I don't do that anymore. That was a lot of work. But they would get workbooks and the workbooks would have stuff in them like of the different systems and stuff, and that was amazing. And so like Richard brought through the 64 gene keys and Ra brought through the 64 gates, I too was called to bring something through. And with a bunch of support in 2020, my vision became reality. I had the skills to bring it through, but I knew, holy crap, this is a big job. This is a big deal. I can't do this on my own. So people were orienting. I connected with Melinda Butterfield first, and me and her actually started the doors to begin with. And she was like, listen, you need to bring in Bella Crystal because she's doing the same thing you're doing. And I was like, okay. So she came in and she was helping. Melinda was helping. Simone was helping. Tim was helping. There's actually on the 64 Doors website, there's a list of all the, well, not all, but a lot of the collaborators and contributors to the doors when we first started in 2020. 2020 was a wild year. We had COVID. Everybody was stuck at home and we're like, yeah, why not create this online resource? We're all going through some kind of psychosis. Let's get inspired and create these doors. And so transit by transit, they were birthed. The rhythm was 5 days. It was like, okay, you're going to bring through an archetype in 5 days. Okay. So that is what it means to walk the wheel. Is first, I walked the wheel to understand, okay, who am I? What is this archetype? How does it fit with me? Who do I know that has it? And then eventually, they wanted to come through me because I made that connection to each of them. And in order to bring through the archetypes, you have to know them. It's like becoming friends with 64 different people. And so transit by transit, connect to them, bring that through. So it starts with getting into the rhythm first, with beginning to whole yourself, like the video that you watched with all the body graph getting filled in. So we're reconciling the fragmented parts of ourselves. We're bringing them into coherence with who we are. And you don't have to be done wholing to begin creating in this world. It's almost like you get initiated. Some of you are bringing through something already. Some of you are working with archetypes. Some of you are so advanced with human design and gene keys, you're doing readings, but you're doing it in a very unique way. You're bridging it with something else because what you're doing is you're translating it. The 64 is owned by no one. It is all that is. We don't own all that is. It is all that is. We're just translating it. And each of you has a different way of translating it. And people will relate to different translations of it. That's what brings people and magnetizes people to you. And some of you will take it and create something practical with it. Maybe you're going to do a whole meditation series on all the 64. I don't know. Whatever you're inspired to do, whatever helps you is also going to help others. And so that's why I have some. I mean, I told you I'm going to do a teaching. There's a gift and a way that you can bring yourself into coherence and into rhythm with the 64. So the red door is about foundation, remember, and foundation begins with rhythm, like I said. So we want to have a rhythm that supports you. That's why the walking the wheel journey exists. It's that weekly rhythm. So if you haven't been coming to the walking the wheel calls, they're every Tuesday. We focus on the archetype that's in transit. So that's something that I've been doing that I'll continue to do. And there's a link actually in the comments where you can sign up to come join the journey. Tomorrow we're going to focus on the librarian and we're going to focus on the intuitive. So the 48 and the 57, these archetypes, and we'll have a discussion on it. And I'll teach a little bit about them because that's what I do in the beginning. So there's a lot of new people in here. Thank you so much for being here. You probably don't know about Walking the Wheel. So that's why the first thing that I'm offering is this resource of Walking the Wheel. And this is the cosmic heartbeat, and it runs through everything, and it runs through us. So every week, a new archetype comes into transit, and then when you tune into it, you begin to align your personal rhythm with the rhythm of the cosmos. You start to notice the codes moving through your relationships, your emotions, opportunities, your growth. And you begin to see that same pattern that moves the stars also moves you. I won't go into the neutrino stream, but that is something that is super like fantastic and also a really cool thing to understand. We won't talk about that today, but if you're curious, you can look into the neutrino stream and the little particles of information that get spread far and wide. So if you've wondered how to practically live these codes and to embody them rather than just study them, then this is your invitation. This is where we begin to do this. This is where we start to have discussion about it. And some people are sharing about it, teaching about it, coming from a place of trying to translate their experience. And that's the first step, is how can you convey what you know, the wisdom you have about this archetype to another. And when you join the Walking the Wheel call, there's a course in the comments. You'll receive reminders, reflections, and a space to connect with others that are on the same path as you. So we're all remembering Eden together, one archetype at a time. And today, since and stay with me here because I have a bunch of other free resource tools for you as well. And I'll also give you a PDF so it's all in one place because I don't know if you're taking notes or if you're whatever, but I'll have something so that you have a resource with you. But today we opened the first door and we're also celebrating the launch of my book. So I published a book, I copyrighted a book, and it's called Walking the Wheel with the 64 Archetypes. This is the first book that I've ever published, and I'm super proud of it. And this book is going to be your companion on your journey through Walking the Wheel. It's a map for the entire journey. So actually, let me share what it looks like with you so you can see, because that could be helpful. Okay, so this is the book, and the link to the website is in there. So Walking the Wheel with the 64 Archetypes. I go into what walking the wheel is, why we walk the wheel, why we have archetypes, how do you walk the wheel, and how we walk the wheel together. So you've already been invited into the Walking the Wheel community calls. We also have 64 archetype courses, a subscription that I'll speak about next week so that you can really dig into these archetypes as you're walking the wheel. I'm going to start doing workshops in 2026 and the Creator Studio as well. So these things are introduced. Some of them are not launched yet. They will be, and we'll talk about them later. And then you're going to meet the 64 archetypes, and they kind of look like this. So you're going to have all the correspondences, who the archetype is, the name of the archetype, where they live on the wheel, and where they're in the body graph, and then 3 paragraphs description of them. So there is 64 of these. Whee! A lot. The artist archetype. Let's go to the librarian because she's in transit right now. Hi, librarian. So this is what's here for her. And you'll get this whole book. So you can use this as you're walking the wheel with the transits, or you can use it as an oracle where you just pick a page. Okay, we're going to stop here. The Father, 40. So we can go into that. Or you can just go to, okay, what's in my design? I'll go to the grid worker. This is my Pluto. So you can do that. I would also suggest as we're walking with the red door, I would love for you to tune into your purpose sphere, your unconscious earth. This is what grounds you. This is who you are. This is what grounds you on earth. And if you, can you guys just put it in the chat? Like, what is your purpose sphere archetype or number? If you don't know the archetypes yet, what is your purpose sphere archetype? Unconscious earth, red earth. I'd love to know. 40.4. The Father. Oh, that's funny. And we were just on that. Nice, Dana. We were just on that one. Yeah. So what you would do is you can go in here and you can read the description of that and start that contemplation, start that connection with that. So that's the book that I just launched. I'm super excited about it. I will be talking about it more during this week, but I just thought I would give you guys the first unveil of it, and it's only $4.99, so I made it pretty cheap, and it's digital copy right now. It will be going on Amazon Kindle here soon, and the price is probably going to increase too because Amazon likes to take some stuff too because you're putting it on Amazon. But you're able to download the digital copy, which is also amazing because we're not giving Jeff Bezos a bunch of money either. So, but he's an amazing creator too. So, credit where credit is due. Thank you so much for making everything so convenient for us. We respect the creator in each person. Right. I'm a creator, you're a creator. I respect my creator, I respect your creator. I recognize the creator in me, I recognize the creator in you. And that's the stance we have on things. Would we choose to do and create things in the same way other people would? No. And maybe yes. But that's resonance. Who do we resonate with? So as you are digging into this week of foundation of this red door, I have some things that I'd like to share with you that might support you on your journey. So first of all, obviously you can join the Walking the Wheel transit calls. We have one tomorrow. You can get your copy of the 64 Archetypes book, Walking the Wheel with the 64 Archetypes. You can also root into your rhythm every day. So every morning you can put your hand on your heart, or you can put it over your root chakra, your tailbone, or the bone that's like in the, well, for women it's in the front. Like put your hand over your crotch and just you can repeat, I root into the 64 within me. I remember Eden. I am building my Shambhala. You can say whatever you resonate with. You don't need to use that translation, but I will put this in a PDF and give that to you so that you have kind of a red door printout that gives you all the tools and resources. I also want to give you a few extra personal tools as well. Oh, I'm just seeing too. Alicia is the revolutionary in her purpose sphere. The mountain is Sandra. The magician is Nicolette. Amazing. Thank you. The hub tree is Teresa. Thank you guys for sharing that. I also wanted to give you, as we're wrapping up, some practical tools. So I love on my journey, I was introduced to so many different tools, and I always looked at them as training wheels until I found that frequency in me, and then I didn't need them. But I definitely worked with a lot of these to help me remember that frequency in me. So I have flower essences, essential oils, and crystals. Yeah, we're going woo woo here. But I want to tell you, remember I said your attitude affects your altitude. You want to hold the frequency, bring in some of those pure allies, crystals, essential oils, flower essences. Bring them in. There's other things too. Like you can even bring in Chinese medicine and put it on a Chinese medicine acupuncture point. But we won't do that. I have resources for that too. Desiree Delaunay is amazing when it comes to connecting Chinese medicine to essential oils. But okay, these are what I suggest you use as you're working with the root. Something that came to me recently, again, was Trillium. Trillium is a flower. Trillium is a great flower essence. It's the flower of holy embodiment, and Trillium roots spirit into matter, into form. It helps us feel safe, prosperous, and balanced in the material world. So she's going to restore our trust in Earth's generosity, and she's going to awaken reverence for the sacred union of body, heart, and spirit. Trillium is a great resonator with the root chakra. So if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling a lack of abundance, Trillium is a great flower to work with. It'll help bring a sense of security to you. It's going to detach you from any codependency. I remember using Trillium root when I was working through codependency issues, and I had a moment where I felt the cord snap, and then I felt, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Like I'm so used to using this situation or this person as my foundation, and now I'm like, whoa, I'm unrooted. Oh crap. And then I had to learn to root into myself. So Trillium was amazing at doing that for me. Red clover is another great essence. So this brings in a calm presence when we're in times of unrest and collective unrest. So it steadies your emotional field, and it's going to dissolve any of those fear-based reaction. Remember, we're in the root chakra, we're in the red door. Fear is prevalent here. We want to resource ourselves. So this red clover is going to remind us that stability lives within the heart and that it's not in outer circumstances. She's also going to teach us how to stay grounded amidst any kind of storms. And then yarrow root, yarrow is really great for creating a shield. For anyone that is feeling sensitive, if you're becoming a creator, you're going to want to be resourced because you're kind of growing something from the seed up, and it's vulnerable. So you want to make sure that you are protected, that you have a shield around you. And I'm not talking about fear-based, like, oh, somebody else can influence me. No, if there's strong winds, you want to be under a tent so that you're not susceptible to the elements around you. It's just about creating a home, creating a foundation for yourself. So yarrow strengthens energetic boundaries, restores integrity into the aura, and she's going to allow us to stay open without being overwhelmed. So she's not going to shut down our sensitivity. She's going to make it so that we can tune in more. She's going to protect the empath. She's going to turn vulnerability into empowered sensitivity, which is amazing for this. And then I know a lot of you have heard about arnica. Arnica is a great healer of shock and fragmentation. We use it when we have bruises, and bruises are literally you fall down and you get a bruise. That's shock. So you can use arnica. You can use those little pellets. You know, they have the homeopathy pellets of arnica. Arnica brings body and spirit back into harmony after stress and trauma. If you're healing stress and trauma, if you're trying to ground into your body, if you're trying to create you're being a creator, you're trying to create, you want to restore trust in life. You want to feel safe and return home to yourself. So she is going to help you do that. And arnica, I mean, there's so many more things about arnica that I can say, but for time's sake, I won't say more about her. Have you heard about arnica or yarrow or red clover or trillium? Just wanted to know. You've heard about that. Okay. Now, and I'm gonna make a list for you guys as well. Essential oils. These are great for so many different things, and I found a lot of respite by just using these oils. And before, I wasn't connecting to, I mean, these were introduced to me like maybe like 2017 as well, but they're just coming back around to me to utilize them and to create relationship with them. So these essential oils are going to help you ground into that root chakra. So cedar wood, let me see if I have cedar wood, and I use doTERRA, but I also use Eden. Oh my gosh, Eden's Garden. We're over here with Eden's Garden. Cedarwood is really great to it is the steady heart of the forest, and it grounds your spirit and restores a sense of inner safety. So she's going to teach us to breathe again and to remember that we're held by earth no matter how much change surrounds us. Very woody. Very woody. Cedarwood. And then vetiver. Vetiver is like thick roots that drink deeply from the soil. Remember, we're rooting again. So she's going to remind us that strength comes from slowing down. She's going to soothe overreactivity. She's going to ground you. She's going to calm the nerves. Just even tune into the energy of vetiver. Just like you can tune into the 64, tune into vetiver. You can already feel a sense of calm. You don't have to have these to be able to call the energy and the frequency towards you. She's going to connect you to the body and the breath back into rhythm. Patchouli. This is the scent of earth after rain, at least what I think. And patchouli helps us shed our old skin and reclaim the body as sacred ground. If any of these are resonating with you, try to find them. Go find them. I can put my link, or you can find them in different places. But if if the description of them resonates, like, oh, I need that, then like just pick one. I put a bunch. You don't need to use them all at all. It's just, what do you feel in resonance with as you're working with the red, with the root, with this red door, with your foundation. Patchouli is, it helps you shed the old skin to reclaim the body as sacred ground. He's going to invite presence, self-acceptance, and balance between effort and ease. It's a very good protector energy as well. So I will give more descriptions of these when I post the PDF. We also have frankincense. I mean, frankincense and myrrh are really big um, essences that came into when the three wise men were, or the wise men were coming in to bring gifts to Jesus when he was born. Frankincense is sacred. It clears old emotion, it balances, it restores, it awakens devotion to purpose. So he's going to also strengthen our connection between heaven and earth, between spirit and form. So as we're working with like restoring this heaven within ourselves, remembering Eden, and creating and building Shambhala, frankincense. Frankincense is amazing. Wintergreen. Wintergreen is the initiator of movement and change. So she's going to clear stagnation and fear, and she'll give you the courage to cross thresholds. You guys want to create a new reality? Pfft, wintergreen. Wintergreen is amazing at that. There's no excuses here. We trust the unknown. She's the midwife of transformation. You want to create a new reality? You want to birth a new reality? Wintergreen. Wintergreen is for you. I'm feeling resonant with that one. Then we have lemongrass. So I have a couple more. Lemongrass is sharp, is bright. It cuts through heaviness and excess. He's going to renew motivation, clear the mental clutter, and invite fresh perspective. It's a cleansing wind for stagnant energy. We can bring these two together and just let's go. Let's go. Spring cleaning over here. Lemongrass is great at cleansing too. And then we have green mandarin. Green mandarin is the zest of new beginnings. Ah, I mean, these all, like, let's say wintergreen, lemongrass, green mandarin. Like, you want to build heaven on earth? Cool. Let's do it. Let's do it with these allies. They're going to bring you the frequency that you need. The other ones are going to help you protect yourself and, like, kind of dispel some of that fear so that we can work on any of that stuckness, stagnancy, the gunk that gets stuck in our root chakra. These ones are like, I'm ready to be a creator. Let's go. So green mandarin, like I said, zest for new beginnings. You can even tell I have an open throat. So when I connect to essences, I start to feel and speak them. So green mandarin is energetic. It awakens joy, a possibility. It reminds us to play, to dream, to embrace the colors of life. He is the pulse of vitality after deep renewal. So it's like if you guys have been resting and in retreat for so long and you're like, I feel the pulse, I feel the call, I am a creator, but I don't know where to start. Like, okay, start with Green Mandarin because he's going to wake you up and be like, you've hibernated long enough. I know we're going into winter. It is hibernation season. I understand that too. Pettigrain, this final note of harmony. It's going to regulate your energy and your emotion. It's going to restore clarity and ease after transition. Bring the heart and the mind back into peaceful rhythm. Among other things, pettigrain, patchouli, these things are great at. We really want to make sure that we have not only our strong foundation, but we want to remove any hooks, any cords, any semblance of that past life that just is not in resonance with the new life anymore. I want you guys, like, brush yourself off. This sounds silly, but brush yourself off. Like get all the places and just like shake your hair. Like we are brushing stuff off and you're coming into alignment. Movement, breath, sound, amazing. You want to build Shambhala? You want to build heaven on earth? You've got to move your body. We need to release the stagnancy. We need to give the pulse of life back to us. You can even pulse your perineum, the muscle that you use when you're going to the bathroom, pulse it up, bring life force, bring vitality back to you. You can even look at the centers in the human design body graph, go to the root center, go to the root chakra, go to the archetypes that live there, connect to them. 58 is this source of vitality, the vital archetype. I'll give a list of those archetypes as well. I told you to look into your purpose sphere. What else could you look in as you're working with your foundation? Your stability sphere. That's one of the new spheres in the star pearl sequence. Stability sphere is your unconscious Saturn. Mine is the 26.1. I am writing a new code for myself. I'm believing the cuckoo cuckoo-ness. Like, yes, I am a creator. Yes, Eden is here. Like, I'm going to say the wackadoo things. I'm going to believe I'm going to believe the stuff because what I'm trying to do is trying to rewrite the past, rewrite the story, rewrite the codes that I've inherited. I'm trying to create a transmission. If I can get into alignment with this belief, that transmission goes out as a broadcast and I attract these things to me. After I did the first live stream with you guys on Friday, all these animals were just magnetized to me. I had creature, like there were seals that were coming up in the water. There was a bunch of butterflies and there was ladybugs, and my radiant sphere is the 15. It's magnetism, it's the love of humanity, but also the animals and creatures here. I knew that sparked and created something huge for me. I sent out this pulse into the universe that said, what are you doing? Who are you? I'd like to see you. You do that too. You do that too. You need to create stability for yourself. That stability sphere, primo. Primo. You want to work on your foundation, root into your purpose sphere and your stability sphere. That's going to give you stability. That is your launch pad. So find those two archetypes and say, we're partnering. We're partnering this week. I want to get to know you. I want a foundation. I want to know you. Let's look at our garden and see what soil we have here. Never mind what we're going to plant. Let's make sure we have the right nutrients. So I'm translating my stability as the 26, which also I need to sell myself the idea of Shambhala. I have to sell myself, not sell my soul. Sell the idea to myself. That's what the 26 is. It's the transmission. I'm creating a new transmission that I'm sharing to my fractal. I have the whole 4426 channel. I want you to buy into this. Why? Because I want us all to be conscious creators. I want us to get into the playground of creation and to create heaven on earth. I want everybody's dreams to come true, including my own. I have big dreams. I have big visions. That Sagittarius energy, I have the 10 in my purpose sphere in Sagittarius, 10.1, and the 26.1 in my stability sphere. They're both Sagittarius. 10 goes into Capricorn, but not yet. It's Sag for me. I am about expansion. The planet that's ruled by it is Jupiter. Expansion. I am about optimism. I am going to be rooting for you. Like, I'm your cheerleader. I want you to create something. I've had some of you reach out to me and say, this is what I want to create. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I'm doing. This is how I am building Shambhala for myself. I want to know what you guys are doing. The 64 is not mine. I'm translating it into archetypes. That's why I'm saying, walk the wheel with me. I'm going to orient you with the 64. And eventually, you're going to bring through your own 64. Whether it's 64 archetypes, 64, whatever it is that you bring through, or you're enriching the systems with something more. You're expanding the systems through enriching them with something that you're like, yeah, they need this. Oh, we need some oils with it. Oh, we need da 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 da. You're going to find your thing. And I want to help you birth it. I want to help you bring it through because just like Ra wanted, or Richard wanted Ra to bring in gene keys into the system, and Ra was like, not in my system. Richard then was initiated into his journey of becoming a creator of his own system. And you might do that too. Okay, what else? One more thing. So exciting. Thank you for sharing your stability sphere too. Psh, right on, right on. Okay. What else can you do to support yourself? We have the tools. We have flower essences. We have these oils. I also love to use crystals. So you can use petrified wood. Talk about wisdom. Petrified wood. Trees, they are around for way longer than we are. Petrified wood is like wisdom. Same with fossils. If you hold fossils, they're going to connect you to the root, to your earth chakra as well. If you can even connect to Lemurian quartz. That one's a little bit more like crownish energy. But if you want to connect to wisdom of the past and you're a bridge between the past to the present to the future, I would connect to fossils. Fossils are past to the present. Lemurian quartz might connect you to Lemuria, but it's also where are we heading after this. So connect to fossils. We've got smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is great at discernment, at making decisions. It's also a purifier, not a cleanser, but it's, let me see, where are you? Alchemist of shadow. Smoky quartz transmutes fear and tension into clarity, allowing you to release what no longer serves you and get fully rooted in the truth. This one's a great one. I love this one for discernment. Helps me make decisions. We also have Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is great for protection, but also for courage. So this is the golden light within. It's stone form. So it balances practicality with confidence, aligning action with integrity. It also teaches us discernment and the power of steady focus, among other things. Red Tiger's Eye is a little bit different. This is brecciated jasper, but red jasper works great too. It's the stone of vitality and strength, and jasper roots your energy deep into the earth, awakening stamina, courage, and a sense of belonging in the body. You want to get rooted, you want to get grounded, jasper. Jasper, jasper, jasper. Any rocks. Rocks are earth, but black onyx is great as well. It's a deep, steady ally for inner strength, and it fortifies endurance and self-mastery and reminds you that true power, your power is steady, it is consistent. It's also going to help ease your worries because you're becoming a creator. You want to be grounded and rooted, and you like fear? No, no fear. Hematite also roots you and grounds you as well. And was there anything else? Black tourmaline is a great purifier and protector as well. I always put black tourmaline and um, selenite above my door thresholds so that anyone that walks in is purified and cleansed. Me as well. Let's leave our work where we're at, or let's leave our stuff out there and not bring it into the home. So those are the things that I have that I can share. Um, they're allies. They're allies that are here to help us on our journey of becoming creators. So that's what I have for you. So you're set up for success now. Yay! We're going to keep talking about the red door and the root chakra and your foundation. I really hope that you'll join the Walking the Wheel call, that you'll get the Walking the Wheel book, and that you'll use some of these allies to help support you. I really want to underline and emphasize that as you're walking with me on this journey, please make sure that when we're done on this, which will be done soon, and I'll hop off, and you can integrate this all. I want you to feel into how can I take this into my life? How can I make this practical? If anything I've said resonated with you, you're like, yeah, I am a creator. Yeah, I am trying to bridge. Yeah, I am working with dissolving some of this fear, aligning with my giftings, working with the stability sphere and the purpose sphere. I want you guys to work on the soil. Right now, we're tending the soil because we're creating our Garden of Eden for ourselves. You are creating your reality, your world here. I want you to make sure that soil is nutrient rich, that you've got some water, you've got some sunlight, you got some positive vibes and energy, and that's what's going to help those seeds grow. So you got big dreams, you got a big purpose, and I'm here to support you. And I want to remind you that paradise, it was never lost. It's just simply waiting for us to remember and to live in rhythm with the pulse of creation again and to claim, I am a divine creator. Tuning into that spark of creativity within you and saying, I want to create. I want to create in this world. So I thank you so much for joining me. And I feel very invigorated and excited. And I can't wait to walk through the rest of the doors with you. But for now, we focus on our root, on our foundation. We get clear, we get grounded. And I will see you in the group. Please let me know what you thought about this live stream and what resonated for you, what you're taking with you. And let me know if you're going to work with any of these essential oils or crystals. Like what's going to support you? What's going to support you? You've got allies. Okay. Please look in the group for the PDF I'm going to share so that you are set up for success with the tools and the invitations that I gave you. And I hope this was useful, helpful. I love you all, and I can't wait to see you succeed and build Shambhala for yourself here on Earth. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.